I want to talk about my first month of diamond painting. Yes, it's already been a month. Like, this is my first diamond painting. And let's talk about the lessons I have learned so far. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Marissa. I make a variety of diamond painting content, as you can see. But I also love making WIP and chats. WIP meaning work in progress. I have a few categories. I have story times, opinions, and rambly life updates. So I wanted to talk about this as I'm getting ready for my next WIP and chat. Cannot believe it's already been a month and I'm almost done with my first project. I have learned quite a few things along the way, like to have a little toolbox that has, a little thing that I could take out of my drawer and have ready for whatever I need. It's convenient. I have static guard in here. I have my glue dots, museum putty, washi tape, probably too much washi tape. The most recent one that I used to help section off my daughter's project. I have my trusty tweezers, a Q-tip, little scissors, just things that I need throughout. Release paper, a highlighter, and a clip thing. Sometimes when I'm rolling my painting, I like to have it held by a clip. This is so I can cross out the videos that I map out, because I do a little idea book of what videos I want to make, and if I've made that video, I cross it out. So that is my little setup that I have in my drawer. And I've learned it's easy just to have everything in one space. Of course, I have little areas for different things, but for convenience sake, I tend to just throw it in that little bucket and have it ready to go. Before, like the first couple of weeks, or I should say about 2 weeks, I had everything separated and I felt like I couldn't find anything. It was annoying. Really, really annoying. My kids made it not pretty anymore, but whatever. I have different putty and wax coming in the mail because I have been struggling with this a little bit and getting too stringy and sticky. I live in a dry, hot, barren desert. I don't know if it's actually barren, but it's dry and hot, so it's getting really sticky. I asked on a Facebook group, which I have also learned, great resource. You need to know anything and they will jump at the opportunity to help you out. It has been one of the most kindest, accepting, amazing communities that I've ever entered so far. Like I said, it's only been a month and they've given me that impression already. I haven't seen any drama, and I've seen so much random drama in groups for no reason at all. And I haven't seen any at all, which is just amazing to me because people on the internet can suck. In my opinion, it's true. We've all witnessed or been attacked or seen some mean things on the internet, and I have not witnessed that at all. And that makes me really happy and feel really welcomed. And I appreciate that. Same thing with YouTube so far. Like, thank you. I just want to throw that out there. Wow, that was really easy. Before, I would fiddle, like you can see all the different stuff. Like, yeah, my kids have contributed to this beautiful mess here, but I would struggle, like this big old hole. That's what I was trying to do before. So now I've also learned, just take it from the edge, shove it in there, and take whatever little bit off the top and put it back. Another lesson I learned. But yeah, back to the community. I'm thankful for it. I also love that they're very high into mental health and talking about it and all of that. Love. Love, love, love. And I also talk about this being my first project. It's technically my second project, but that one doesn't count. That took 2 years to do. It was a little tiny one that I got off of Amazon with terrible quality. I'm talking like, see how stretchy and goopy the glue dot is? This is what was like on the canvas, I didn't take care of it because I didn't know about release paper. The plastic would just kind of flip back and forth. It was real slippery. Like I said, it took 2 years. My kids both kind of played with it. And it almost made me not want to diamond paint at all until my anniversary with my husband. And he was like, let's get you a real canvas. Because I had been kind of researching and talking about it before. So that's how it came about for this. But I learned YouTube had so many different resources in its own little community, and I learned so much from there, and I wanted to share. So it also helped me gain the confidence and want to do YouTube again, and I appreciate that so much. Oh, this video is kind of going to be everywhere because I just want to talk while I set up for it. I have a trash cup. This is my pretty trash cup where I put, like, I would store the extra ones that didn't fit in the containers of diamonds and just refill. So I just put whatever trash in here, you know, codes that I've used, extra wax, washi tape. I've learned it's just convenient to have like a little trash cup. Obviously you don't put gross stuff in there. I've also learned that a lot of people talk about squares like they're this crazy difficult process thing, and they're not. They are easy, I think, once you get the hang of it. I guess I can just talk about my experience learning this. Like, at first, I thought this canvas was going to take me 5 months because that first section of squares, oh my God, I thought was going to completely deter me from doing a project at all because it was, I couldn't, like, they were coming out like crooked. And I almost fell into that trap of they're so hard, they're so difficult. And then I was watching YouTube and like they had a common sense, like, yes, diamonds take longer, but once you get the hang of it, they are worth it. And I stand by that. I didn't let it deter me. I almost did. Almost, but I didn't. I think I'm gonna work a little bit while I talk about this. I am working on Seasons Change by JoJo's Art. I started on March 20th. It is like the 22nd or 23rd right now. Let me check. It's the 22nd, so like I said, it's been a month. I will be finishing this. I learned that I only use the light pad sometimes. It's most convenient for nighttime. And I cannot have it sitting up like an easel thing until I get a mat to make it not slip, because every time I place something, it slips back. Another big lesson that I learned about diamond painting, especially doing it for content, is it is so time consuming. Like, I already had a feeling it would be, you know, it would take some time, but I didn't account for one project taking a month or longer. I also didn't really, when you're looking online, it's easy to be like, oh, that picture's beautiful, and not consider how big it is. Like, you see these numbers like, oh, it's 25 by 30. It doesn't sound that big because those numbers aren't big, but when you actually see it in comparison to what you think, it is bigger. Like, this has taken me a month. Now, when I first actually started working on it, I thought that this canvas was going to take me months to do. It hasn't, but it still has taken me over a month. So just, I learned that, and I'm actually thankful for it. I love watching it come together. I could look at this piece when it's hung on my wall and think about the memories of doing this project, you know, and seeing my kids ooh and ah over it and wanting to help and helping me organize, or just the silly conversations that we have whenever they're working on their projects and I'm working next to them. So the time that it takes can be a blessing, but also can be a pain in the butt and be a little discouraging. So just keep that in mind. And I'm so excited to compare this first month's experience, like 6 months or a year down the road, to see what I did know and didn't know. Like, I want to be able to have a full comparison and comprehension of rounds versus squares, and just like the little intricacies of learning this. I don't know. I'm so excited. This whole thing has just been amazing for my mental health. It has been amazing for my children. My husband loves it. He's excited to either help build a frame or put it, you know, with his little bucks that he got. You know, we keep the skulls, and we're actually going to get one taxidermied from his big hunt. And this is going to hang with those. So he's like, it's going to be a beautiful showcasing piece. And he was talking once again about the memories that we have making it together. And he comes over every night just to see the progress that I did. And it goes back into the time that it takes. Because other times he'd be like, dang, you're still working on that? And other times he'd be like, wow, you're flying through this. Like, you're already almost done. So yeah, keep that in mind. It's definitely a lesson that I've learned, especially with making content with it too, because you got to think, you have to set up for recording, and then you have to edit and do the behind the scenes, like the SEO and title, thumbnails, and all that fun stuff. And I think I needed a little bit of that in my life. It's definitely improved it for the better. But on the other side is, if I weren't doing content, I probably would have already had this done, but I wouldn't have been able to document and look back on the process of this piece coming together. And that's another reason why I'm doing YouTube, is because I get to come back and watch these little art pieces that I have fallen in love with and worked really hard on come together. Like, how cool is that? I get to tell stories of my life, and yeah, it could make it take a little longer to do, but in my opinion, it is worth it, and I like feeling like I have a job. I love having something to do with my family as a family. Like, I have my own individual things that I do with my kids, and that's turned into diamond painting. Like, we'll sit there in the evening sometimes, put on a funny movie or a kid's movie, and calm down for the night and just relax and diamond paint together. We also have archery as a whole family together. Like, that's what my husband's doing. He does a lot of building our bows, building our arrows and whatnot. So they get to help him with that process, and they get to do this with me. So we get my individual time with the kids, diamond painting, laughing, talking about it. He gets to build the archery course with them, because we have like a little archery thing in our on our property. And they also get to help build arrows and whatnot with him. So he has his individual thing. But as a family, we come together and all shoot together. And I love that. I honestly feel like diamond painting has brought our family closer, because we've all bonded over it. And that bond leaks into everything else. Now, when it comes to doing this with the kids, I've also really enjoyed having my own area when they're not home. Like, this is my space. Like, they have a space connected to my space, but in general, this desk that I sit at is mine. They have their own stuff in their own area, and I really enjoy having that. It's like, when they're not home, I can sit in my own little area and do my own little hobby that I have completely fallen in love with and share it with everybody. It is amazing. Another thing that I also learned is, I don't think, so far, things might change, I don't think I want to have a giant stash. I plan on putting myself on no buys after I have a certain amount, which is already really hard to stick to, because I am eyeing another canvas, this one from Dreamer Designs, and I want it so bad. But I think I'm going to wait until I get through a majority of the stash that I have now, because I want to make sure I'm going through what I'm buying. Now, there will come a point that one of my goals is to work with companies and get free canvases. So I don't want to buy a ton when I also want to get through those canvases too, because I don't want to contribute to overconsumption, which as a creator, it is part of our job to have a lot of things around the subject that you are working on, right? I want to try different brands so that you don't have to. This is my first time using this one. But I also don't want to promote and think that my whole audience has to overconsume like that. I want them to find what works for them and not have to buy or have that fear of missing out. So I'm going to try to be an example and show restraint of I will go back and look at that canvas. Once I go through a majority, only have like 2 or 3 canvases left. I don't want to ever get above 10, I'm thinking. 10, maybe even a little less in my stash. But once I get down to like 2, I could buy more, just to kind of monitor and make sure that I don't end up with a whole bunch of stuff that I'll never get to. The whole point of this is the process of doing these kits and sharing my journey along the way. I don't want 50 kits just sitting there not being loved and adored and used. So that is part of my goal is, yes, I do want to work with companies. Yes, I do want to be able to show upcoming, sneak peeks one day. I do want to be able to host giveaways and have sponsorships or whatever. Like that is a goal of mine, but I want to try to do it responsibly. That is one thing. So I'm not going to buy that kit that I was looking at, Dreamer Designs. I'm going to keep chugging along and working and see how much I could do per year before I set like a full thing of I will not go over this amount. Right now it's 10. If I can do even 1 whole canvas a month, I think that's reasonable. So I can buy a couple times a year and still work with another company if I ever get to that point. I also have to say these companies, they market so well. Like their marketing is so well. Like they thrive with that FOMO, fear of missing out. Get this before it sells out. Yes, it might sell out, but majority of the time it will restock. I plan on getting more after restocks. I do want to have the experience of buying something new for the first time, but I don't want to do it every weekend. What I think I'm going to do and what I have been doing is I have my wish lists and I will keep an eye on restocks. And if I still feel the same and it makes me feel good, or if it makes my heart pound or brings overwhelming emotions, or I just absolutely love the project and the art for it, and I still feel that way after waiting for a restock and going through and browsing my wish list and landing on that same picture over and over again, I will 100% buy it. I think that is an exception, that if it is out of stock and it comes back into stock and I still love it the same or if not more than when I put it on my wish list, then that's an exception to buy. That is proving that it will be used and it will be done. So I think I will have to have exceptions. But yeah, don't fall into that fear of missing out. Most stuff does restock. You obviously have projects now. If you don't have any and you're starting from scratch or whatnot, get it. I support you in getting it. But if you already have a stash and you have a bunch of stuff to work on, it's okay to let it go. And if you love having a big stash so you can constantly have something to choose from because you never know what mood you're going to be in and what you're going to want, I support that too. You do what's best for you. I am just talking about what I want to do in my experience, and I don't want to ever hold anyone back. Okay, I think I'm for realsies done. Thank you for spending time with me and watching my first month experience. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!